Umeki Mami.
So we're going to look at 3 matches between 2 judokas who have very different styles. One thing they can both agree on is the importance of a good face slap to warm you up before the match. So Madeleine Malonga, 2019 world champion, 2020 Olympic silver medalist, starts off with a nice Kosotoagari. And initially the ref didn't score this, but after the video replay it was ruled a waza-ari. And her opponent in white is Mami Umeki of Japan. So you can see Umeki struggling early. Malonga is at her most dangerous early in these matches. Very aggressive with her grip fighting. And as we move forward into this match and see Umeki rip off Malonga's dogi, we can see that Malonga is starting to struggle a little bit. You can see her breathing very deeply. We're only 90 seconds into this contest at this point. So Umeki is the 2015 world champion. This year at the 2021 World Championships, Umeki ended up walking away with a bronze medal and Malonga took a silver. So Malonga was hoping to get to turtle, but Umeki forced her to half guard, and it's not a good position. It's very difficult to hold guard as a longer-legged judoka. And Umeki controls the pin nicely. She's able to keep Malonga's leg elevated. And Malonga doesn't really have enough energy to make an attempt to fight this pin. So the first meeting between these two would go to Mami Umeki of Japan. Let's fast forward to 1 year later, where they met again in Paris. So Malonga's in front of a home crowd, impressing the home crowd with a quick waza-ari. So once more Malonga in looking for that ochigari-uchimata combination. This time Mami Umeki's doing a better job at fighting the takedown, but Malonga gets behind her and Tanio Toshi for another waza-ari, and it's all over in about 30 seconds. So this was actually the 4th meeting of Malonga and Umeki. The one we started the video with was their first. The 2 they had after that, Malonga was disqualified for stiff arming. One was about 90 seconds long, one was about 3 minutes long. So Malonga's very dangerous early in these matches, but if you're able to survive, you have a good chance of beating her late, as long as you have the ability to do some good judo, whether it's tachiwaza or newaza, as we're going to see in this one. So Malonga was issued with a warning there. She had a Georgian grip, overhand cross grip, I think it's often called in judo. If you have an unorthodox grip, you're expected to attack from that grip immediately, and that wasn't what she did. So Umeki trying to get that left hand on, it's set on. She's starting to off balance, looking for the harai goshi, ends up in turtle. Now this is a familiar Sankaku gaishi turn that Umeki often uses. She's got a triangle locked on. Now she's straightened the left arm of Malonga and gripped her below the leg. Now the interesting thing here is that Malonga ends up tapping to this. which surprised me. To me, I don't know how to choke someone with the leg configuration that Umeki is using here. Sankaku Gaishi turn. She's controlling the free elbow. She's locked her legs, and she's locked her leg with the lower leg on the bottom, which is really good for control, but in my experience it's really difficult to finish someone with a choke when I have my legs configured like that. 4 possible options as to why Malonga tapped. So option 1 is that Malonga was exhausted and was finding it a little bit uncomfortable and just wanted the match over. She clearly had no escape option. Option 2 is that there is enough pressure in Umeki's choke here. So Umeki's butt is positioned very close to Malonga's head and neck. Her right thigh looks like it's positioned very closely to Malonga's neck. So there may have been pressure coming from the positioning of the right leg across the neck of Malonga. The other possibility is that it's similar to a kesagatame. You can see that there's pressure going from Malonga's right shoulder across to her left hip. She's being bent, so it may be difficult for her to breathe. Another possibility is that Umeki has straightened Malonga's left arm and her body is directly over the arm. It's possible that there's pressure on the elbow. So I'm going to finish the video with one more example of an Umeki Sankaku submission win, just to show you a more conventional leg configuration. So the standing attack is very similar to what we saw in the last one. Double collar grip of the Judo gi. Opponent goes to turtle. Now she's controlling the free elbow while she looks to set up the Yoko Sankaku. The opponent does a really excellent job of bridging over. She adjusts and tightens her lock, and the opponent sprawls. A fairly unusual defense in this situation. So one more time. Double collar grip throw to turtle. Controls the elbow. Starting to get the Sankaku, but the opponent with 2 bridges and rolling over the top. Now, I think the reason she sprawls is because the lock was probably starting to come on. And Umeki just scoops up the leg and pulls it over. Notice how Umeki's pulling the leg towards her body rather than positioning her body just on top of the leg. So I've no doubt that this one was a submission finish. I can tell from that lock that there's no room inside that Sankaku. So in my experience, it's quite easy to tap people when I've got my legs configured like this, with the upper leg locked behind the bottom leg. But when I've tried doing it in the way we've seen in the previous match, people just tell me, yeah, there's no way to escape, but there's no choking pressure. Subscribe for more non-stop newaza and more Mami Umeki.
Winner on mat 2 in white for Japan, Umeki Mami.